absolutely damaged, guys. I am with the hardcore legend, Terry Funk. Terry, first of all, I want to say it's an honor and our privilege to be next to you right now.
Well, it's a pleasure being here. It
Thank
really
you
is.
very much.
It's very much of a pleasure to be here with you and talk to you.
Appreciate it. Now, how did you get started in professional wrestling, and who were some of your idols growing up?
Gosh, how did I get started in professional wrestling? I'll tell you how I got started in professional wrestling. As I was about 4 or 5 years old at the time, and my father would bring different wrestlers home and to the ranch, and dadgummit, my mom would get up late at night and they'd cook meals for them, and I'd listen to stories and sit on their laps and listen to guys like Lou Thez, Pat O'Connor, and just on and on down the road, you know, the old timers in the business, and the real gorgeous George, you know, and right on down, Bob Geigel, and just all of these wonderful greats that were in the business. And I would listen to these stories. Dadgummit, I'd hang on every word. I never grew up wanting to be a cowboy or an Indian. We didn't have astronauts then. I just wanted to go ahead and I wanted to be a pro wrestler. All of my life, I wanted to wrestle. I wanted to be like my pop, you know. And so time went on, and I turned pro in Amarillo, Texas, a long, long, long time ago. And my first match was against a fellow by the name of Sputnik Monroe. And I was in the ring, and it was a 1-fall 10-minute match, and I didn't win it. It went 10 minutes, the time limit. But I'll never forget, about 6 minutes we're out of the match, and Sputnik Monroe had me down on the mat, and I was trying to get up, and he's saying, "Stay there, kid, stay there." And I wasn't looking too good, and all of a sudden my father ran to the ringside. He didn't really run, but he walked down the ringside. He says, "Terry Funk," he says, "you dumb son of a gun," he says, "get up off your butt and do something." Boy, I flew up off of that doggone mat, and everybody in that arena, they thought, man, boy, he had whatever it was really inspired him. It wasn't it was my fear of my father that inspired me at that time, you know. And my father was a great mentor, a great teacher, and he never told me whenever I ever came out of the ring that I had a good match. Out of all the times that he watched me, and I'd come back to the dressing room, and if he didn't say a word, if he didn't criticize me, I knew that I did a damn good job. That's kind of how I got into the business, and love it very much. Second generation, there's a lot of them now, and a lot of ones that we're going to be saying, man, that kid's great. And they're all around us, and I think it's great that the second generations are into it, like the DiBiase's.
Definitely, yes.
And like the Ortons, and like so many of them, and they're great kids and great wrestlers. And this time and age, you know, it's my 2 young grandsons. One of them is 5 and the other one's 8, Champ and Daniel. Already they want to be wrestlers, but I already know that I have to make them understand one thing: you can't be a dummy and be a wrestler. And the first thing, and even right now I tell them, you guys, if you're going to be WWE wrestlers in the future, you've got to be smart. You can't be a dummy. Get your education, kids. Get your education. That's necessary. And dadgummit, that's the one thing I want to tell all of those kids out there that are thinking about wrestling. Remember, education comes first. You can't be a WWE superstar in this day and age and do what they want to ask from you without having a heck of a brain. And the only way to get that brain is to go through school and complete your education.
First off, I want to say congratulations on being a part of the Hall of Fame. This about 2 weeks away for the WWE. You and Terry Funk, I believe, are getting inducted.
Yes, we are.
And your thoughts on that?
Well, dadgummit, I've been in the wrestling world for a lot of years, you know, and I feel, honestly, I feel like I'm 105 years old and on my last leg, you know. But don't bury me out on the Lone Prairie, no sirree. I don't want to be buried on the Lone Prairie.
Well, you've been
I want to be in a wrestling ring.
Definitely.
I want to be in a wrestling ring. Bury me in a wrestling ring, you know. When I go to heaven, you know, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'm gonna go just beyond the moon and halfway to the stars, you know, and I'm gonna be up there and I'm gonna have my wrestling boots on and my knee pads and my trunks and my tie and be ready to go, and it'll be a match that lasts for eternity.
Well, for all the ECW fans, you were a Hall of Famer in our book so many years ago, many years ago, and I'm just proud and thankful for WWE to finally recognize you as a Hall of Famer.
I am too, and you know, as dadgummit, I thank the committee, and I thank you, Vince, for not putting an X on my name when it passed your table.
Now, congratulations on being the first ECW champion on a pay-per-view, barely legal. That must have been a great time when you came in there for all the young guys back when ECW started. You know, you were there for them. You know, thank Terry Funk for coming here, showing you guys, and that must have been an honor to be with them.
It was. It was a great thing to be with each and every one of those guys.
And your thoughts on the ECW arena, being there and wrestling in that building?
You know, it was a great time. It was great people in the ECW arena. Would it be the same if we were somewhere else? I doubt it. It really would. You know, I mean, it was quite a place. It was. And you drive up there and dadgummit, it was just a great deal, you know. Got a guy right here, right over here. I want you to get a shot of that guy. That's a ECW man right there. Every ECW match there was. I want you to get a shot of Mo here. Take a shot of Mo. Get Mo in there. You got her on that tape. Now you make sure Mo's on TV now, because she's another ECW fan that was there every time that we were up there, you know. And there was just a great group of people, and we were tight. And that's no BS. We were tight, and we had a bond. And it was the only thing that ever became somewhat of a threat to Vince McMahon and the WWE since the beginning.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time, and wipe that out. And I'll tell you right now, and I don't mean this badly or anything, but TNA, God bless you. I hope you get there, but dang it, we made it higher up the ladder than y'all did so far.
Terry, any last words you'd like to say for the fans out there?
Yeah, I got some words for them. ECW.
You heard it here. The legendary Terry Funk and RC. Thanks, guys.
ECW.
Completely damaged!